Close your eyes for a moment and imagine walking into a 1960s American kitchen. The smell of something bubbling on the stovetop, the hum of a refrigerator that seemed to weigh a ton, and the bright colors of packaging that proudly sat on the counter. Food in the 1960s wasn't just about eating. It was about family convenience and the excitement of modern living. Many of those dishes and products have since faded away, but they remain deeply tied to memories of childhood, family dinners, and simpler times. Today, we're looking at 20 forgotten American foods that defined the 1960s. Number 1, Jell-O salads. No 1960s potluck was complete without a shimmering Jell-O salad. These colorful molds were often filled with canned fruit, shredded carrots, or even mayonnaise. They were a symbol of creativity and convenience, made possible by the rise of gelatin products in every grocery store. While they may look odd to us now, for many families, these wobbly creations meant celebration. Jell-O salads slowly disappeared as tastes shifted toward fresher, simpler dishes. Number 2, TV dinners. The excitement of pulling out a foil tray, peeling back the cover, and waiting for your meal to heat in the oven was pure magic in the 1960s. Salisbury steak, mashed potatoes, and a little brownie, each in its own neat compartment. TV dinners represented modern convenience and allowed families to gather around the television, a brand new tradition at the time. But as the years went on, frozen meals became less of a novelty and more of a symbol of processed food, losing their charm. Number 3, Tang. When astronauts drank Tang in space, every kid in America wanted it at the breakfast table. This powdered orange drink became a household name thanks to NASA's endorsement. It wasn't just a drink. It was a symbol of progress, space-age living, and modern science in a glass. Though you can still find Tang in some places, it never held onto the excitement it had in the 1960s. Number 4, SpaghettiOs. That cheerful.
Oh, SpaghettiOs!
Jingle played in living rooms across America. Kids loved the fun, ring-shaped pasta and tomato sauce, and parents loved the quick, no-fuss meal. Introduced in the mid-60s, SpaghettiOs captured the spirit of convenience food that defined the decade. While it still exists, its glory days of being a family staple have long faded. Number 5, Ambrosia salad. Coconut, mandarin oranges, pineapple, cherries, and mini marshmallows all mixed in a creamy base. Ambrosia salad was a common sight at church gatherings and family picnics. Sweet, colorful, and slightly unusual, it captured the experimental nature of 1960s cooking. Over time, changing tastes pushed it aside in favor of fresher fruit salads. Number 6, fondue. If you were entertaining in the 1960s, you likely brought out the fondue pot. Melted cheese or chocolate, long skewers, and shared dipping made fondue feel exciting and modern. It wasn't just food. It was an experience, a social event around the dinner table. While fondue still appears occasionally, its peak as the height of sophistication is locked in the 1960s and 70s. Number 7, banana pudding with Nilla wafers. Layered bananas, creamy pudding, and those crisp little Nilla wafers. This dessert was pure comfort. Every Southern home seemed to have its own version, and it often showed up at picnics and Sunday dinners. Simple and satisfying, it carried a sense of homey tradition. Today, while still loved in some areas, it has lost its place as a must-have dessert across the nation. Number 8, meatloaf with ketchup glaze. Few meals scream 1960s family dinner like meatloaf. Made from ground beef, breadcrumbs, and topped with a shiny layer of ketchup, it was filling and affordable. This dish brought families together at the table after long days of work and school. Over time, taste evolved, and meatloaf became more of a nostalgic comfort food than a weekly staple. Number 9, canned ham. Spam and other canned hams became popular in the post-war years and held strong through the 1960s. Easy to store, quick to prepare, and cheap, they were a lifesaver for busy families. Though not glamorous, canned ham had a place in countless kitchens. As fresher meats became more affordable and widely available, canned ham slowly faded from dinner tables. Number 10, chicken de la king. This creamy chicken dish, served over rice, noodles, or toast, was a 1960s favorite. Made with chunks of chicken, mushrooms, and green peppers in a rich sauce, it felt both hearty and elegant. Many housewives relied on canned soup shortcuts to whip it up in minutes. Today, it's rarely seen outside of vintage cookbooks and retro dinner parties. Number 11, gelatin molds with vegetables. Not all Jell-O dishes were sweet. In the 1960s, adventurous home cooks experimented with savory gelatin molds. Imagine suspended olives, celery, or even tuna inside a shimmering green or orange mold. They were seen as elegant and modern, perfect for dinner parties. To today's eyes, they might look strange, but in their time, they represented creativity and status. Number 12, the beef stroganoff, imported from Russia, but embraced fully by American families. Beef stroganoff became a favorite 1960s dinner. With its creamy sauce, tender strips of beef, and noodles, it offered a touch of sophistication at the table. Cooks often relied on canned soup bases to save time, making it both fancy and convenient. Though it can still be found in some restaurants, its heyday as a go-to-family meal has passed. Number 13, pigs in a blanket. Tiny sausages wrapped in biscuit dough became a party classic in the 1960s. They were easy, fun, and perfect for cocktail gatherings that were becoming more popular in suburban America. Guests loved popping them into their mouths while chatting over martinis or highballs. While they still make appearances today, they no longer hold the cultural weight they once did. Number 14, chiffon pie, light, airy, and pastel-colored. Chiffon pies were a picture of elegance. Made with whipped egg whites folded into fruity fillings, they were often served in lemon, lime, or strawberry varieties. Housewives in the 1960s proudly displayed these creations at luncheons and gatherings. As dessert tastes shifted toward richer options, chiffon pies slowly drifted out of favor. Number 15. Deviled eggs. No 1960s party table was complete without a tray of deviled eggs. The creamy, tangy filling sprinkled with paprika was both simple and sophisticated. These eggs were a staple at church socials, family reunions, and holiday gatherings. While they still exist, they no longer carry the same sense of fancy that they once did in the 1960s. Number 16. Casseroles with cream of mushroom soup. Few foods defined mid-century convenience like casseroles bound together with condensed cream of mushroom soup. Whether it was tuna casserole or green bean casserole, these dishes brought families together around bubbling Pyrex dishes. They represented frugality, efficiency, and comfort. Today, they are remembered fondly, though they're more tied to nostalgia than regular meals. Number 17. Stuffed celery sticks. Celery filled with cream cheese, peanut butter, or pimento spread might sound simple, but it was a 1960s staple. These crunchy little appetizers often appeared at bridge clubs, family gatherings, and children's snacks. They were quick to make and offered a playful touch of variety. Over time, as snack options expanded, stuffed celery faded into the background. Number 18. Crown roast of pork. When families wanted to impress guests in the 1960s, the crown roast was the star. A dramatic circle of pork chops, often topped with frilly white paper caps, created a centerpiece that turned dinner into theater. It reflected a time when presentation was just as important as taste. Today, it's rare to see a crown roast outside of high-end dining or holiday throwbacks. Number 19. Cheese balls, rolled in nuts, bright orange, and proudly placed in the middle of every holiday party spread. Cheese balls were pure 1960s chic. They combined processed cheeses, spices, and sometimes even pineapple, creating a bold snack served with crackers. They were easy to make ahead of time, which made them perfect for entertaining. While cheese boards have replaced them, the cheese ball remains a beloved retro memory. Number 20. Baked Alaska, a dessert with a touch of drama. Baked Alaska brought a sense of showmanship to the 1960s dinner table. Ice cream wrapped in cake, topped with meringue, and briefly baked. It was a marvel of both science and flavor. Guests gasped as it was sliced open to reveal its frozen heart. Once a culinary star, Baked Alaska now lives mostly in the pages of vintage cookbooks, and the memories of those lucky enough to taste it. That brings us to 20 forgotten foods so far. Halfway through the list, each dish tells a story, not just about eating, but about what it meant to live, celebrate, and gather in 1960s America. The foods of the 1960s were more than just recipes. They were moments. Sunday dinners with family, neighborhood picnics, church socials, and holiday gatherings. Each dish, from Jell-O molds to Baked Alaska, carried with it the spirit of a generation discovering convenience, creativity, and togetherness. Though many of these foods have disappeared from our tables, they still live on in memory, in old cookbooks tucked away in cupboards, and in the stories we share. They remind us that food is never just food. its culture, its history, and its love passed from one kitchen to the next. If you enjoyed this trip back in time, don't forget to like this video, share your favorite 1960s dish in the comments, and subscribe for more journeys into America's past. Because sometimes, the best way to understand where we are today is to remember what we once had.